This is a follow-up to the Baraboo story. Happened a couple of weeks ago where this white man walks up onto a graduation stage and pushes this black superintendent to keep him away from shaking his daughter's hand as she gets her diploma and walks across the stage. Shout out to one of my subscribers who suggested I do a follow-up. We were conversating about this story in the comments. I'll leave a link in the description for the original video. Wisconsin superintendent says parent who accosted him at graduation had no reason to push him. This story is from the Associated Press. Janelle Griffith is the writer. June 11th, 2024. The Wisconsin superintendent who was accosted on stage by a parent during a high school graduation last month said the encounter left him concerned for his safety as well as that for his family and the school community at large. Baraboo Superintendent Rainey Briggs was confronted on May 31st by Matthew Eddy, who stormed the stage during the Baraboo High School graduation and physically moved Briggs out of a line of administrators greeting graduates as they received their diplomas. He wanted to prevent Briggs from shaking his daughter's hand. Eddy told police afterwards that he and his daughter had past issues with Briggs and disliked him, according to the police report. But Briggs, who has been superintendent for 3 years, said he did not know who Eddy was when he approached him and that he had not interacted before that day. He didn't plan on this story getting as big as it did. That's why he's claiming he disliked him. It wasn't about race or something like that. Everybody is talking about this story, and he's trying to deny that it was based on racism. Now, you just heard the superintendent say that he never interacted with this man. So which is it, dislike, or is it because he was black? Briggs told police that Eddy's daughter was at one point expelled from the school. The report says Eddy was issued a citation for disorderly conduct and was charged with a Class B misdemeanor. He is due in court on August 14th. He physically moved me from the place in which I was standing, and in that moment, I'm like, I've never really had anyone put hands on me like this, Briggs told NBC News on Tuesday at this first interview since the graduation. The reason for him coming onto the stage, whether it was he disliked me or he didn't care for me, there's still no reason, no point at all in putting your hands on another individual, regardless of what you may feel in the moment. Briggs said Eddy's attorney apologized on his behalf on Monday, nearly 2 weeks after the disruption. Eddy has not returned repeated requests for comment. A school resource officer who spoke to Eddy said in the police report that Eddy said he was remorseful for his actions, but only for his daughter's sake, leading the officer to conclude this may have been something that he had pre-planned to do. Eddy, 49, has been instructed not to have any contact with Briggs as part of a temporary restraining order issued last week. A hearing on the order is scheduled for Friday. Briggs said he obtained the temporary restraining order out of concern for anybody who may be around him, including his wife and their 3 children aged 22, 20, and 18. It's really for the protection of myself, along with staff, along with students, he said, because anyone that would accost someone in front of 3,000 students, what will they do in front of 1 or 3 or 10 or 15? While many online have speculated about what motivated Eddy's actions, Briggs said it was not for him to say, but he acknowledged the optics don't look good, especially for a town that faced accusations of racism in 2018 when a photograph of students giving what appeared to be a Nazi salute went viral. Although 4 school board members and the school's principal also were on stage during the graduation, Eddy, who is white, confronted only Briggs, who is black. Do I think it was racially motivated? That's a question for Mr. Eddy, Briggs said. That's definitely a question that he would have to answer. But at the time, Briggs said, it wasn't so much in my mind a racial thing more than it was a safety thing. Let me answer the question for him. Yes, it was a racial thing. He was the only black man on stage, and he was the only black man that got accosted on stage. So I would say it was a racial thing. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know whether he had a weapon, a knife, a gun, whatever Briggs said. That was going to cause possible harm to me, let alone everyone else that was in the vicinity of that space. Briggs said that he has received threatening messages since becoming superintendent in 2021 and has forwarded those messages to police, whom he credited with taking the messages seriously. Really. He said the threats did not focus on his race but on policies, including the district's stance against bullying. Oh, he's one of those. I believe this superintendent has been instructed not to mention any racist things that happened to him in the past. Damage control. The school board probably went to him and said, hey, don't talk about any of the racist things in the past, especially that happened to you. It wouldn't look good for the school or the city. Okay. Sound like he stepping and fetching for me. That's just my opinion. Let me continue. We learning a lot about Mr. Briggs, aren't we? A spokesperson for the Baraboo Police Department said Briggs has sent the department 2 emails and 1 voicemail, none of which resulted in charges. So he said the police were extremely helpful with him. He don't think it was about race. Yet and still, no one is charged for the emails. Okay. But the police were extremely helpful to you, huh? All right, let's read on. Since the graduation, Briggs, 46, said he has received hundreds of messages of support from people across the country and the world, including other superintendents. Briggs has also received backing from the school board, which said in a statement that this adult felt emboldened to behave in this way in front of hundreds of students and other adults should deeply trouble us all. This type of behavior would not be tolerated. Stop. Let's stop right here. I'm going to play a clip of that incident real quick. I've heard nobody else talk about this. It seems to be overlooked for the most part. And what we are going to watch again, as I played it in the first video and spoke about it, how the audience erupts in cheer when he puts hands on this black man. Fair use, YouTube.
No.
Did you see how the whole auditorium started cheering and the ladies trying to quiet them down? So for this, was it the principal that said this? Let's go backtrack a little bit. Oh, it's the Briggs has also received backing from the school board, which said in a statement, okay, this is the school board statement, and keep in mind what you just saw in the video, that this adult felt emboldened to behave in this way in front of hundreds of students who cheered and applauded when he did, and other adults should deeply trouble us all. This type of behavior will not be tolerated. Yeah, okay, sure. The 7-member school board also said that it condemns such actions and asked the community to take stand and speak out against that type of behavior that threatens the fabric of our democracy. Yeah, sounds like Joe Biden, does it? Said he believes that Eddie's behavior has unfairly cast Baraboo in a negative light. Nigga, please. Let me continue, though. With some critics calling it a racist town, I guess I'm one of those critics. Baraboo is 40 miles northwest of Madison and has a population of less than 13,000. 90.4% of whom are white, according to the most recent census data. I do think it's giving the community an unfair narrative of being a racist community, Briggs said. Y'all hear this guy? The optics don't look good, but I'm here to say that the community isn't a bad community. Dude, they just was cheering when that man pushed you off the stage. The whole auditorium cheered that. What is you talking about? Bro, I'm gonna leave this story alone right here, man. I'm not gonna come back. I'm not gonna touch it again. I just hope Mr. Briggs live a happy life up there where he is in Baraboo or whatever it's called. Good luck to you, player. Y'all heard that, man. He's either delusional or possibly the school board telling him to say such things. That's probably not how he actually feels. I mean, the stories that come out of that place, we know it's a racist place, and I'm sure he does as well. But I guess for his job's sake, he gotta go along and get along and pretend that it's not that type of place. I wouldn't want to stay there. I wouldn't even want to drive through there. To be honest, sounds like a hick town, hole in the wall place. You probably have to get out of Dodge at dark. All right, there's the follow up. You hear how he tap dancing and buck dancing around the issue, so he good. No more needs to be said on this subject. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.